UPS shipping labels. Let's have a conversation about that. Okay, I'll be giving you a quick guide about the UPS shipping labels. And the thing that you need to really understand is that in introduction, I want to say that logistics have really always been a tricky affair for Americans. Whether you are a business person, you are an e-commerce person, or you just a regular person like you and me, and you're just trying to really ship your mail from point A to point B. Okay, but the thing is that you have to understand that when it comes to shipping labels, everything really is important in terms of the destination you send the item to, but also the person sending the item in the first place. So the origin, but also the destination of the item, because everything is actually inputted on the label. Okay, and nowadays it's actually in certain transactions, in certain shipping transactions, basically a regulatory requirement for you to really properly let's say properly put the right info in the label. Okay, now let's talk about what a shipping label really is. Okay, now the USPS actually is pretty sure it's pretty strict when it comes to shipping labels. Why? Because number one, regulatory compliance. Number two, making life easier for their staff members. Number three, keeping the senders accountable. Okay, now different carriers have different formats for shipping labels. Okay, however, in general, they have the following data. Basically, starting with the origin or return address and destination address for the customer. They also include the postal code, the zip code, okay? And also they have things like the address, so address details. You're all looking at the city, the street, the apartment. So that's important. Also the country if you are shipping outside the US, okay? Next, you have to really put it on the shipping label, the package weight, the quantity, the shipping method, right? Whether it is priority mail, standard, or international, or even certified for that matter. Or for the case of, in the case of USPS, if you want to have registered mail. Now, the different components of a shipping label, like a postal barcode and tracking number, are actually read by machines, facilitating a smooth shipping process. Those are not really humans taking care of business. Those are machines, okay? And the thing is that, moreover, the shipping label also includes postage information if it's actually paid for or requires payment from the recipients. So that's pretty, you can see that a shipping label is a pretty granular piece of, let's say, piece of paperwork, if you will, okay? So that's really good. But the good thing is that because the USPS is a independent branch of the federal government, they actually cover the whole 50 states, okay, including Hawaii and Alaska. So let me talk about USPS shipping labels. Now, the USPS shipping label actually fulfill the same purpose as a regular shipping label. In other words, whether you ship from UPS, you ship from FedEx, you ship from DHL, or you ship from Royal Mail in the UK or Canada Post, whatever. I mean, basically the USPS shipping label carries information that the carriers need to make the final delivery. Okay, not just UPS staff, but also third party staff, because you probably know that in the USPS supply chain, sometimes they use third party logistics. Let's say they outsource part of the itinerary of when it comes to having the delivery, like final mile or middle mile. They might actually outsource it to a third party. So the USPS shipping label actually helps those staff members also actually carry at least read information about the shipment. And so the USPS shipping labels have a standard format, except for the different logos designating the chosen shipping method. For example, the shipping label of priority mail will have P printed on the top left corner. USPS has an inbuilt tool called the click and ship service to actually ease the process of creating and printing shipping labels, so you can really do things yourself. So you have an element of DIY here. Okay, so that's pretty good. And this tool, the enhanced click and ship service, enables you to pay for postage, print shipping labels. So that's really good. It gives you more autonomy, if you will. And you can also schedule package pickup or drop off. So the labels, the USPS labels actually are available for almost all mail classes, including priority mail, express mail, and global air mail parcel. Okay, so that's really good. And in most cases, postage is actually included in the label info. Now, for the actual process of, let's say, creating the shipping label, you will first need to create an account with USPS to ship. You don't have to have an account. You can just be a guest. But if you want to create a shipping label, you gotta have an account, and that's number one. And number two, you need to enter the shipping date and package details like its weight and value. If you have a USPS flat rate packages, you can actually choose the flat rate option to, or you can even enter the actual weight. Then you need to select the service type, and then that's it. I mean, trucking and insurance are automatically included. You can additionally opt for signature services for an added charge. So that's really, it depends on what you want to do. Okay. So, the thing is that if you think about it, the USPS shipping label actually it gets really finalized real fast. Okay, nothing really complicated, especially if you go through the USPS enhanced click and ship service. Okay, that's a DIY sort of route for you, so you don't have to really worry about having like going to the post office yourself, or even, and you don't even need to have a printer, because if you go through USPS.com, everything is pre-loaded for you. Okay. Now, what are the different USPS shipping services? Because those services actually impact the content of USPS shipping label. So it's important to really have a clear idea about that. So you have about five that I want to talk about into this conversation. You have Priority Mail Express, Priority Mail, First Class Mail, USPS Retail Ground, and you also have a USPS Media Mail. Okay, so let's first talk about Priority Mail Express. So Priority Mail Express actually is the fastest domestic shipping method that USPS has. Okay, it guarantees shipment delivery within the next day or 2 business days if you are going, like if you're shipping somewhere like in those non-continental states like Hawaii or Alaska. And so you can choose the option that best fits your shipping needs. And postage starts at $28. And for commercial shippers, it begins at $23. Okay. So the cool thing about Priority Mail Express is that it's available all around the year. I mean, it's also available 7 days a week. Okay. And if you opt for the next day option, you can also get a money back guarantee if your parcel does not arrive by 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Now, Priority Mail supports actually both flat rate and variable pricing. So if you opt for the flat rate envelope, you can ship anything under 70 pounds, and included in the service actually are USPS tracking and signature confirmation. So that's kind of cool from a flexibility point of view. The second service is Priority Mail. Priority Mail is actually USPS's most sought after shipping service. Domestic shipment are usually delivered between 1 and 3 business days, depending on the shipping time. Okay, and so tracking is included in the package, so that's really good. And the post office and online price starts at about $9, while the commercial rate begins at about $7.42. Then you have a first class mail, which is ideal for standard single piece envelopes weighing up to 3.5 ounces, and large envelopes or smaller packages weighing below 13 ounces. The shipping time here is usually between 1 and 5 business days. Next, you have a USPS Retail Ground, which is really an economic service for shipping oversized and non-critical parcels. The shipping time actually ranges from 2 to 5 business days. And finally, you have USPS Media Mail, which is an affordable way to ship media and educational parcels like books, manuscripts, sound recordings, and it usually takes 2 to 8 business days. So let me give you a few considerations here. If you think about USPS shipping label, it's important to have in mind that you got to consider a few things before creating USPS shipping labels. Okay, so first you need to buy Priority Mail or Priority Mail Express package for the let's say you need to buy those postages, if you will, for the packaging. So you want to compare and contrast the prices for Priority Mail and Priority Mail Express to see what really is more beneficial for you, right? Because there is a difference in terms of delivery, that's for sure. Like Priority Mail Express 1 to 2 days. Priority Mail regular 1 to 3 business days. So if it's really important for you to get the item delivered real fast, maybe it's just better to go with Priority Mail Express. Now, one thing I want to say here is that you want to weigh the packages before generating USPS shipping labels. So you can use a kitchen scale, okay? And so it's important because if the weight turns out to be more than mentioned, you might have to pay additional USPS postage charges. And you can also use the flat rate envelopes instead, which really are kind of cool because they allow you to mail any weight that can fit inside the box or envelope. And the charges here range from a low fee of $4 all the way to $14.40, okay? And in terms of the USPS shipping labels, once you have them finalized, you can actually pay for the label actually using credit card, debit card, okay? It's not really a problem. You can even use PayPal if you have a click and ship account. Yeah, really, and you can calculate the required process per postage and shipment weight, and then finally a label will be generated. I just want to insist you don't need to have a printer at home, okay? And you can add any insurance if needed, or any additional delivery instructions or services that you might require. So that's pretty good. And the reason why you don't need a printer is because if you use the enhanced click and ship service, everything is done for you automatically. Let me talk to you about the strategy here. So how do you print, click and ship online postage, so the parcel? So you can ship packages easily from home or office. So you can buy USPS Ground Advantage, Priority Mail, or Priority Mail Express postage for your packages. So you can actually schedule free package pickup online or you can drop off your packages. Okay, that's pretty good in terms of flexibility. And you can also save with the enhanced click and ship experience. Why? Because you may get, as an individual, you may actually get lower commercial rates. Okay, I mean, of course, businesses can get additional savings on select services by opting they can opt into the business rate card. But even if you're a regular person like you and me, you can still qualify for the lower commercial rates. So that's why because USPS is really pushing for citizens to use its enhanced click and ship service. Okay, I have an entire video on this click and ship experience, or just service, if you will. So if you are interested in that, please go watch it, or just ask us in the comment section, and we'll just certainly get back to you, okay? And the cool thing is that basically you can order flat rate supplies actually through the click and ship online service. I mean, if you have no scale, once again, no scale, no worries. You can use the company's USPS flat rate shipping products, okay? The thing is, their motto is very simple. If it fits, it ships, okay? And that's really important. And also, you can also save time and schedule a free USPS package pickup, all from your home or office, okay? You can see that, again, I want to insist on that. USPS is really making sure that user experience, okay, shipper experience is really paramount. And they've done a lot to ease that end of things. So that's really good from a flexibility point of view, but also from an efficiency point of view, because you can ship items real fast, and you can ship items in a streamlined and efficient manner. So fantastic. So what are the steps here? When you think about USPS shipping label, what steps should you really pay attention to? First of all, how do you print USPS shipping labels actually in a streamlined manner? I've already answered that. You go through the USPS click and ship, or if you have a printer at home, that's easier as well, okay? If not, just opt for the Priority Mail flat rate boxes, okay? So by default, tracking facilities are turned on, and there is usually a fee of $50 per package for insurance purposes. So if the shipment is actually to be sent internationally, you must complete the customs forms, okay? Don't forget that. And but when it comes to USPS shipping labels, you might probably hear a term called broker. So you have a USPS shipping label broker. Okay, there are third-party organizations that really try to really fill that gap. Okay, If you are away from home or do not have access to a printer, you can easily use the USPS click and ship service or the USPS label broker service. So it really works by providing you with a QR code and a label broker ID. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So what happens here is that busy customers, okay, can use a QR code to access the labels printed by USPS associates right at the post office location. And this is actually, when you think about it, you have huge convenience here, because if you're ready to send a shipment and you just go to the post office, everything is taken care of for you. That's pretty good. If you choose not to print at the post office, you can also print the labels yourself from USPS.com if you have access to a printer. So again, a lot of flexibility there. Now, the thing is, the reason why you might want to really use USPS, apart the fact that it is an independent branch of the U.S. government, you have free pickup. Think about it. You can set convenient pickup times for packages free of cost. You have delivery to military locations, military and diplomatic locations, so APO, TPO, and FPO. You have tracking facilities, and most importantly, USPS covers the whole United States, including Alaska and Hawaii. So, here is a shipper. Here is a not a shipper. Here's a carrier that covers non-contiguous states. So that's pretty good. Also, the reason why you might want to really consider USPS this year when it comes to shipping labels, but also for other types of services, is that you have discounted rates. Okay, I mean, basically, USPS has agreements with numerous logistics platforms to actually offer discounted rates up to a certain volume or quantity of shipment. So that gives you some level of affordability, if you will. And also with USPS, you always, like, as a shipper, you have access to free supplies. So you can use free supplies such as envelopes, stamps, stickers, labels, and even boxes. Can you believe that? You can even have free boxes. So basically, if you send shipments through certain classes of mail, you can certainly avail yourself of let's say, of those supplies. You have the click and ship. Okay, click and ship is really cool. And so click and ship, the cool thing about click and ship is not just about you actually printing a USPS shipping label DIY style. It's more than that, because click and ship, and now as they call it, the enhanced click and ship program offers free boxes, envelopes, printable customs documentation, and also shipping labels. Okay, and it's one of those things where you are able to get things done a lot faster. Again, USPS, through the click and ship experience, is trying to put back power to customers, if you will. Okay, and that's really important. But everything starts with you choosing the right service. Okay, don't forget that. Choose the right service before actually printing the USPS shipping label, because you don't have the same type of info whether you choose Priority Mail Express or Priority Mail or First Class Mail or USPS Retail Ground or USPS Media Mail. So you have different types of info to really account for. So be careful when you actually choose the service. Okay, and don't forget that if for any reason you don't have access to a printer, you can also go with a flat rate envelope. Okay, because as the UPS says, if it fits, it ships. So if you have a smaller item and you have a flat rate envelope, just use it, and that's totally fine. So as a takeaway into this conversation, I spoke to you about USPS shipping label. I gave you the introduction, the considerations, the strategy, the steps, and finally the takeaway. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.